Hello all you witches and witches out there, I'm Pyrotechnics. This time we do a little bit more different on my channel, something more peaceful and relaxing kind of video I'm going to do on my channel. This time I'm going to start uploading more often. I know I said a million times but I never do it, but still. Only one person get busy on job when you start working 7 days a week, and yeah, things get rough and other things and all. But this is more of a channel, it's more just no video, more focused on more light and stuff, more of your imagination, something we lack of these days. We always think about something we know and just go through someone's thought and just just spam it to us, especially social media. Something we need to talk about more often, just let go, you know what I mean? Just to think how how peaceful this really is compared to how it was in the past, how devastating and fear involved. So this is more of a lightened video, or more just a conversation video you need to understand, that more just generate, like a wise old man would say. So this is gonna be the first one. It's gonna be just talk about that balance of yin and yang. I know it sounds stupid, all the stuff we talk about, but yet just listen to me and hear me out. So let's get started on it. Something about just the balance that I really do enjoy. I know it sounds strange to talk about it some more as my kind of a gaming channel and all, but this is something it kind of relates to it. So something we just go balance originally, how every kind of video game makes sense. There's good and a bad, always happening, an endless cycle. No matter what, every game is always good and a bad. Simple as that. Stop the bad, right? But question is, who's really the bad? In perspective, or especially let's just do Mario for simple fact, Mario and Bowser. In perspective of Mario is a good guy, and Bowser's the villain. But now if we go to Bowser's case, Bowser is technically kind of like a good guy, where Mario is bad. Because they both interfere in one job, or one role to pursue, for the princess, Peach. So the question now is, who's really the bad at that point? Is it Bowser for kidnapping Peach, or is it Mario for stopping Bowser for doing his plan? Something you need to understand is very, sounds stupid at first, but yet you need to go in like a guru would say. You need to understand both perspectives before you start crossing to one side of the bridge. People say you can pick one or the other and that's it, but you need to understand there's always the third option. And the third option could be not the prettiest, or could be the worst scenario, but yet it's still possible to do one or the other, or do both or not. So this is something it's really sad about in a lot of video games. There's always that, maybe it could be that true ending. It's something that's very confusing. This very sounds stupid, but they do it on purpose just to think that one person is better. But one thing I like about the Telltale series a little bit is, it's kind of like a choice that kind of adds up to you can say a point system, your good and bad or neutral kind of side. That's what I really like, it sort of builds up a little bit to that character progression. That that you're more fan to Joker a little bit more, or you're more into I forgot all the characters already, Batman already, Rootman or whatever. So just understand, there's just a balance of certain character. You need to understand who's the good and who's the bad. Batman is, of course, and I'm going to talk about it now, is, of course the villains are bad, like Joker killing people is bad. But in Joker's side, that's a good thing to do for him. And bad thing for Joker stopping him. Like in the Lego Batman movie, it's about, Joker just doing it because to get the Batman's attention. Kind of sound like a really bad boyfriend-girlfriend kind of thing, but, yeah. You never know. Something happens with that. So we need to understand a little bit more who's good and who's really bad. You have to see more of a thing, and especially in a first-person shooter, you're technically the good guy. You're the good person trying to beat everyone in what game, and if yes, you should be the best. But yet other people think you're the bad guy, since of course you're the one shooting it. So again, who's really the good guy and who's really the bad guy at that point? Are you the bad guy or you the good guy? Or you can say I'm in between, but the question is, you really don't want to be that side, because it's just making it more of a in-between kind of type, and that's just making it like a third party, and that's something good and bad, like Democrat and Republican, the third party, but usually the third party never wins. So that's the problem with that. And there could be the other option, it'll be either or, like I don't care. You could be that fourth group that we don't, because we don't, that's why no one ever talks about. Instead of neutral, no one talks about it because they're not even existing. They're the fourth group. They're like, oh, I don't want to be in either side, or. So it's kind of like more like an anti-hero kind of type, and that's what if you just think that for. It's very, at that point, it's just making you more confusing, and it could be that I'm kind of this side, but more like double agent. Like, no, we're not going to that kind of stuff. Just taking that 3. So like even in atoms, even the same thing too. There's a protons, electron, and neutrons. Neutrons are neutral, electrons are the negative, and the protons are positive energy. So even that's just 3 things. Common thing. In funny part is yin yang is always balanced of 2 things, the light and the dark are always mixed together. But funny part is you never talk about the in between. The one just stays out of it, or stay in between it. Both light and the dark. And I've seen so many games that does it too. Try to become the light and the dark. Even Bleach has it one thing too. Has a hollow power and, have the Soul Reaper powers and all that stuff, and it's more of a headache again. So we need to find more of just think, what I mean? We need to have this more of just a thought process in our life. And this is one of the videos I want to make out of it, just to talk and just communicate and have a conversation about, light and the dark, between the good and the bad. Even though who's really the good and the bad, we can never guess who it is, because it's always that perspective side of things. If you say this guy's bad guy, then if you think you're good, then who's the bad guy to you? Or how am I a bad guy to do what? So that's the problem I personally on in life. And that's just one of them in over a million things on life that no one can ever understand. But unless somehow one professor can just understand it, what is to be, life is to be balanced between light and the dark, the good and the bad, the perfect and the imperfect. Something that can never change ever in a balanced scale. If one side goes too strong, then the world collides. One side is too good, then just waiting for disaster to happen, and it's kind of like a world you think it's a perfect world, no crime, no nothing like that, but just think about the boredom or just nothingness, the peacefulness. It sounds nice, but that's the problem. Peace is not what you think is the perfect thing you see in life, you think we all want, but it's just never going to happen. Someone will lose their mind, no matter how peaceful they are. They will lose their mind, just like in St. Rose 4 when a game apart. Look at a peaceful family world, next just this one guy will ruin it. And he always will. These biases. That's another video to make about biases and outliers. So there's always a guy doing it, and there's always one person on the other side. If you do all bad, all of anarchy, no rules, no nothing, just all devil's deeds, killing everyone. The question after that is, if it is all destroyed, what's left? Like vengeance. You kill the person you want to kill them for many thousands of years, you can say, for like in anime's way. You finally kill him, then what? Your whole life was spent on that, and that's it. After you've done it, so what else? There's nothing else to gain. Emptiness. You can just say, just doing good because I finished the deed. Like, no. That's just vengeance, and that's not the path you want to follow. It's one of the side to choose, even to the light to the dark. Instant like that. So the path how you find is justice. It could be a million things. Another video I need to make on that as well. What is justice? And just right now is to understand to forgive that person, or do you strike it down with a knife? And that's something we need to understand. So yeah, Hope you have a little bit more thought on this idea. Just on my channel. It's just a big pop to your mind. Something that we never thought of. Something we don't too much people have too much less time of just to think of possibilities of one human can do just to say a word. It might not be loud, but it could be clear enough so that everyone can else follow up. Just like in Twitter, that's why people think of follow. Follow their first step, follow their wise words, follow their livelihood to understand the one person. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment on it. What's your opinion about it? Because I really want to know your ideal brain. Because every opinion is different from others. Some could just agree to it, some could disagree. But with with comments, I will understand more of your ideal purposes in life, more about who's the good and who's the bad. So comment a little bit in debate I want to do on is versus good versus bad. Are you team good, more the superheroes, or are you team bad, the villains? But either way, that's the perfect balance we need to end with. And I hope you enjoyed. And see ya.